Welcome to Module 5 videos. We are going to take a look at creating a two-way data table now and do some more conditional formatting. So we're going to work with the file we've been working with for the last two videos. I have rolled up using the outliner tool the variables so that they're hidden. I've also hidden the cost of goods sold and the total fixed costs, and I'm going to show you in this. If I open them up, you can see all of the variables are now showing. I'm still hiding the cost of goods sold and the total fixed costs. I'll keep those rolled up there. Now, like before, I'm going to start my data table in row 53 just because I don't have any outliner tools rolling things up from row 53 downwards. So I'm not going to be losing parts of my data table whenever I click the outliner tool. So I'm going to put here two-way data table as my title. And if I could only spell, that would be great. There. Table, and I'll make that bold. And in this case, we're not going to do a lot of things that are different. What we're going to do, though, is we are going to take a look at, like before, we're going to change our price. Okay, and we are also going to change what happens when you raise your price. Well, perhaps if we raise our price, the volumes are going to change. So what we would like to do, we're not going to demonstrate the relationship with price and volume in this example, but we're going to set it up so that we can take a look at various price and volume combinations. So I'm going to set here, so here's my price. I'm going to once again start at 180, and I'm going to add $10 to the price every time. So let's once again 180 to 350. There. And I am also going to change the volume. So in this case, I want to change the volume from, let's say, well, with 180, we have, or 198 is our volume when it's 225. So let's say that our volume could go anywhere from 150, and we'll go all the way up to the maximum that CAM can have in one van. So I'm going to actually copy this right over all the way until 360. Because we know that he can have up to 360 customers per year per van if he's doing his 20 weeks. So I've got all of these set up, and what I could do is I could change it. So I have, in this case, I'll do my, actually I have to move my price there. So this is price. And I'm going to put volume here. And what I can do is I can copy it all the way over, and I can say spread it over the different columns. So I could go here to alignment, and I will just say center across selection and click OK. So now it's the volume is for all of those, that title. Now, in the previous example, I had to put the formula for the price, or the net income, I should say. And I'll put that in my title here too. There. So this is net income is what's going to be inside this entire table. So from 350 all the way over, and I'll do the same thing that I did last time, where I'll just highlight that area so we know that's the region that we're going to, fill in with the data table. The only problem is I missed one column there. There we go. There. Perfect. So I have my price going from 180 to $350. I'll change that to dollars. And I'll have my volume going from 150 to 360. So instead of putting the formula for net income just at the right, usually it would have gone here if we were taking a look at a one-way data table. But for a two-way data table, it goes into the corner. So whatever formula is in the corner, top corner of the data table is what's going to get filled in here. So once again, I'm going to say equals, and I will make it equal to C60. And I will now fill in this entire data table. Now you highlight that extra. Oh, 1 second here. I'm gonna highlight this row or this column just because I forgot to shade it properly. I'm gonna do so starting here in AA73. I'm gonna move all the way across to there. Okay, so you're going to start with the top corner is going to have the formula in it, and it's going to fill in the entire data table based on this column and this row. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the one way. I will go to data, what if analysis, okay, and I'm going to go to the data table. Now this time with the data table, it is going to be a two-way data table. So that means I'm going to have row inputs and column inputs. So once again, I just want to make sure that you've got your highlighted region set up properly. Your formula should be in the top left-hand corner. And here, these are all of the inputs that are going to go into the row input cell, and here are all the inputs that are going to go into the column input cell. So now I'm going to slide up here to the variable area, and we can figure out where they should be going. So the row input was all the volumes. So the row input cell is going to be C4. The column input cell is where we had all the different prices, and so that will be C3. So that means every time it's going to fill in each and every one of those cells, it's going to look up and find the volume, and it'll put that into cell C4, and it's going to look to the left-hand side, find the price, and put it in, and it'll fill this data table in two ways. And I'll click OK. Now I'm going to roll this up, and we'll see that our data table has filled in really nicely. So we've got all of these numbers, and it just looks like a mess right now because it's so difficult to read. We've got them set up as 2 decimal numbers, which would make sense for dollars, but in this case we might not necessarily be worried about the cents that we're making in terms of our profit. So I'm going to make this just a general number, and I'm going to decrease the decimals here. Okay, and there we go. Taking a look at this, we've now filled in our data table. So if we were to charge $180 and only 150 people came, we would lose $8,000. But if we were to charge $250 and 210 people came, then we would have $7,000, $7,183 in profit. Now, what we might want to do is just take a look at this quickly and be able to see where we're making a profit and when we're losing money. So I'm going to use the conditional formatting tool again. I'm going to highlight this shaded gray area that I've set up, and we're going to make it a little bit more useful instead of being gray. I'm going to set up 2 conditional rules. Highlight this area, and I'm going to say conditional formatting. So under Home, conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, greater than. So anything that is greater than 0 I am not going to highlight with red. I'll make it green. So I've got a few different options here. I can do a custom, but I do have a green fill with dark green text, so I'm going to choose that. And then I'm also going to make anything less than 0. So highlight less than 0. I'll make those the light red. Okay, so now when we take a look at our data table, we can see very quickly where we are going to be making a profit and where we are going to have a loss. Okay, so we can see that if Cam were to choose to do charge only $180, he would have to have 350 people before he would start to make a profit. And at his current value of $225, we know that he's making $2,089. Now, perhaps another trick that I have is that perhaps if you don't want to be looking at that $20.89, we still need that formula in there, but I might want to just have this look like it's blank. So rather than having my text color black, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to make the text color the same as the background. So the formula, you can see that the formula is still there, but you don't see it, so it's a little bit cleaner. Also notice that when you click on any of these cells, the formula inside the cell is a table formula. Okay, so you can't make individual changes once you've set up the data table and try to change the formula inside. Otherwise, you'll get an error. You can always start over and recreate your data table. So I guess this is, I'll just make that bold there for you. This is the two-way data table, very useful for doing sensitivity analysis if we wanted to see what would be the effect of different prices and volumes on the overall profitability of Tread Softly. And they come in handy. Thank you.